Okay, so this is a chance to kind of check in about that exercise and what it was like for you, what you noticed saying the word mercy. So feel free to either unmute or raise your hand and I'll call on you.
First half of speaking, I was trying to focus kind of globally and politically. And the first half, I felt a really pleading energy coming from me. And the second half, more of a granting energy, like feeling like I can extend mercy rather than beg for it.
Right. So first you were saying, give me mercy. Yeah. Then granting mercy. How did those two feel? Can you say anything more about how they felt?
The granting mercy felt so much more embodied.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I felt my spine return in a way. Like, yeah, I just felt
Yeah.
very present then.
Right. You were inhabiting your body and your energy was like centered inside of you. There's something maybe about asking for mercy that kind of is uncentering. It kind of makes you like off balance, reaching for something. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Who else would like to tell us what happened? Okay, Jim.
Well, Mark, I I don't think I felt much of anything.
Okay.
I felt I don't know, as if I were in a Catholic church or something.
Well, that's something. What does
You
it feel like to be in a Catholic church?
well, I don't know. Um, what's it like to be in a Catholic church?
Uh-huh. It sounds like it brought something up inside of you.
Something that I don't even know what can I don't even know what I'm sure something was going on, but I don't even know. It could have been I wasn't even brought up Catholic, but it just felt very Catholic. It just felt like oh yeah, it felt like a pleading almost. Please give me, the clearance to be a human being. And in the word, it wasn't like human at all. Human was soft. Pleading was like mercy was like pleading, like
Mm-hmm.
asking for something.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Try not to fill in my own version of what it might feel like to feel Catholic. All right, Chris, go ahead.
Um,
Oh, I didn't mean to mute you, Chris. I meant to mute Jim, and you popped up there.
oh, sure.
All right, there we go.
All right. Um, Maybe this is obvious, but mercy seems to, if you're asking for mercy, it seems to be a sort of a it's putting yourself in a vulnerable place, or at least feels that way to me. And it also feels like um, it's something you don't get right now. You have to wait till the end. So you have to just keep suffering, and at the end you get some mercy, but don't expect it now. I don't know where that's coming from, but that's what
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from either. It has a bit of a Christian ring to it, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
It's interesting how the word mercy is kind of cluing people in that way. Yeah, but it can be a vulnerable. You felt some vulnerability saying the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was in somebody else's hands.
That's right. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
also says, it kind of acknowledges your suffering, which sounds like maybe that sounds like a weakness. We're not supposed to be weak in this, at least in this culture, especially maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so if you acknowledge that you're looking for some mercy, then you're acknowledging that you are suffering, um, and that kind of that's vulnerable, a vulnerability, I
Yeah,
guess.
and unacceptable, it sounds like, from a certain
Uh,
cultural perspective.
yeah, it feels like,
Wow.
especially if you're from New Jersey, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know much about New Jersey, but I'll take it from you.
Yeah,
No,
exit
no
80,
mercy, no mercy in New Jersey.
especially exit 82.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Uh,
Who else?
For me, I mercy is a word I'm very attracted to. On the other hand, I'm very resistant to it. I think that comes from the fact that when I was about 20, I converted to Catholicism and then eventually left the church. And now I'm more of, I guess, in some ways, more Hindu. Not really, but philosophically, I resonate. Yeah, for me, the word mercy brings up you're an asking. And if you're asking, who or what are you asking for mercy? And the more the fundamentalist Christians are out and about, the more resistant I get to such words. And yet, I, in terms of the Catholic Church, have a great fondness for, in some ways, the tradition and Gregorian chant. When we were doing the exercise, I felt like I was sort of passing on the mercy that the other person was saying to me. I was absorbing it, but sometimes I was passing on each word to the world or to certain countries or to certain people. Because in a way, we don't have to think of people high in authority to be the only one to give blessings or to offer blessings. So it seems like we can also offer mercy.
How
So
did that
that's
how did that feel to be offering it? To be receiving it and offering it?
good. Both felt
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's an interesting point. There's something perhaps that people assume that it's someone in authority, someone higher,
right,
who is condescending to grant some mercy towards you,
right.
rather than something everyone is capable of giving
And
and
it's
receiving.
and it's so much a part of Western, maybe perhaps Greek-based religion. Whereas, like Hinduism, there's many gods and goddesses, but it's like a play, and it's all behind it all is really like one god, but it's not so locked in, more fluid feeling.
All right. Thank you.
Hmm.
Sandra.
And so we were actually partners, and your word choice, it's funny that Chris said that because I had a very regional response to that. My grandmother, who never ever swore, mercy was kind of her curse word.
Oh,
So like it just brought up this, and I mean, for her to say mercy was a thing, right? So as I'm saying it, I have a photo of her over my desk here, and I'm like, I'm kind of smirking a little, like, but so it was just kind of like I felt like it's okay, Graham. Like I promise this is an exercise, Um, but I also, like Linda was saying, like it felt like something that I was giving out. Like it was very much a And the word that I thought or the feeling or the term that came to was very benevolent, right? Like I have all these photos of people around my desk, and so I was just kind of like looking at them and saying the word, and it just felt really kind of lovely and warm. So, except for the every time I got to my grandmother and the chant, it's okay. So it's kind of lovely. Thanks.
All right, great. Thanks, Sandy.
I think, oh,
Go ahead, Elaine.
can you, well, I think I must have missed the boat. I disliked it a lot. And I think I didn't get, last week, just the sound and the feel of the word in my mouth was awkward. And I just never got past that. I think there was what we did last week with human. I don't know. It sort of had a incantatory quality for me. I got into a space with it, both saying it and listening to it, which I never got past the mechanics of saying it. And no matter how, I was just totally focused on the articulation, and it always sounded, between saying it, I was thinking, how can I say this differently? It just sounds the same each time I say it. Can I add a funny accent? Would that make this better? So that was my take on it. I had none of the kind of intimate feeling that working with human did. And I think it really just had to do with the feel of the sounds in my, you know, so I guess why people say whatever they say when they daven or, have words that help them in meditation. This was a word that didn't work for me.
All right, good to know. All right, thanks, Elaine. Right, who else? Are you raising your hand, Tanis? All right, JM, you go ahead, and then Tanis, if you want to come on, you can unmute after JM.
Thanks. I was struck by how different this practice felt than when you've shared the word mercy during some of the meditations. I think when I've used the word mercy in that self-accompaniment way, it felt very different than saying it out loud, both in trying to extend it to someone else or receive it myself in front of someone else felt so different than during the process of meditation. And I felt like the exercise last week, there was more of a sense of almost like mutuality or connection, I think, with the word human that felt very different than the hierarchical nature, I guess, of the word mercy. Yeah, anyway, that's it.
All right, thank you. Tanis, did you want to unmute?
Did that do it?
That did it.
That did it. Okay. Just a couple of things before. I was not here last week. I'm not sure I was absolutely clear about the exercise. And in my room, Paul and I, we didn't hear a switch to switch. So I said mercy several times and Paul listened, and we didn't do a switch back. So my observation of what I did, which may have been really off the path, was today is one of my sister's birthdays, my youngest sister. And I spent the day running around trying to mail an express package to her. I goofed up. I was going to mail it yesterday, and it was just a silly, fun thing, and a whole bunch of birthday cards. And anyway, and I thought I've got to get this to her. And so the saying mercy was so perfect for me today. Immediately, it felt extremely important to get that off, and so anyway, she's my youngest sister, and was turning 73, and I've been thinking about she just needs mercy. She's had a really difficult life, some of it of her own doing, and anyway, I don't want to get all into it, but I just all day was thinking about her, and I've all week been thinking about her, and each birthday gets harder for her. She's very lonely. She lives far from me. And it was just on my mind that her son in particular, I wanted him to forgive her. So that's where my focus and saying the word to Paul, I felt like he was listening to that someone was listening to my plea to give her mercy at this time of her life. And so it was a wonderful kind of prayer at the end of the day. And I didn't feel that it was solved or anything like that. But anyway, thank you for
All
the
right.
time to do
All
that.
right. Good. Sounds like it worked well.
Yeah.
Okay. So who else? Who else want to hop in?
Mark, I'll
Yes,
go.
Ann. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was with Jim, and I had a lot of the same feelings that he was describing when I was saying mercy. I did feel like I was in a Catholic church and maybe the priest. And that was really, but it was sort of, it didn't have the hit feeling of the human, commenting last week. But it did take me into that feeling of here are these institutions that people go to that they provide mercy, and so I began sort of like a loving kindness prayer, applying mercy, to various people. And when Jim was saying mercy to me, it was really nice. I enjoyed just sitting there listening to him and thinking of him delivering it so sincerely, and just watching his hands as he was like sort of just peacefully imparting this mercy. But mercy is a big word used in a lot of contexts, and it also is in music a lot. So, songs were coming up for me, and, so I was just kind of all over the place with it, but maybe not quite as much of a landing as the human word did.
All right. Maybe everybody's gotten to say anything that wants to say anything.